Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Customs Duty, brought to you by the Nigeria Customs Service. In our package this week, Nigeria Customs unveils Reputation Management Guide to strengthen ethical conduct, public trust as Controller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, commits to repositioning the service for excellence and national impact. Nigeria Customs Service engages stakeholders on Authorized Economic Operator AEO program and post-clearance audit PCA reforms. We'll also bring to you other reports alongside the usual Customs Hub segment, where we get you informed on activities that relate to import and excise duty collection for the week. I am Tosin Obiakeme. To stay with us.
Management members of the Nigeria Customs Service, led by Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, other senior officers of the service, communication professionals, and public relations practitioners come together to achieve yet another milestone, this time with a view to institutionalizing ethics, professionalism, and stakeholder trust, as the service launches its Reputation Management Guide, a key policy document aimed at reorienting officers on the values, behaviors, and standards required to uphold the service's image. Delivering his welcome address, Customs National Public Relations Officer, Assistant Comptroller Abdullahi Mewada, underscores the importance of the launch.
The role of any public institution today extends far beyond its operational mandates. In a world where public trust shapes legitimacy, how we are seen is as important as what we do. As officers and representatives of this noble service, we cannot afford to ignore the reality that reputation is now a strategic resource, one that must be nurtured, protected, and deliberately managed. For many years, our officers have worked with dedication and patriotism to safeguard the economic borders of Nigeria, to facilitate trade, and to ensure compliance with customs laws. However, despite these contributions, isolated actions and missteps have sometimes overshadowed our collective achievements. This campaign is our deliberate response to that challenge. It is about building credibility through consistency and restoring confidence through conduct.
The President of Nigeria Institute of Public Relations represented did not hesitate to voice out the Institute's support for the initiative, while also commending the Nigeria Customs Service for it.
With what you are doing today, you are taking the lead among the public institutions to demonstrate that recognize that reputation is no longer just a buzzword, but reputation is a necessary asset that any organization will need to drive. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is fully in support of this. By doing this, the Nigeria Customs Service has become a reference point.
In his submission, the Comptroller General of Customs stresses the timeliness of the guide launch.
There could have been a better time for this project than now, when Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has taken the charge to launch a huge reputation management project. And this is aimed at rebranding Nigeria, harnessing the positive narrations about Nigeria, and of course all the opportunities offered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm indeed proud to be part of this project.
He uses the medium to express delight for the global recognition the Nigeria Customs Service keeps getting.
Nothing gladdens me more than the fact that the whole world is taking note of the advances that we are making, the impact that the initiatives, trade facilitation initiatives, is making in the system. PEBEC has said so with data suggesting that Nigeria Customs Service is the most improved MDA in terms of the ease of doing business. This is the position. We call ourselves now defending champions. This is the position that we now have to defend in the years ahead. We must reposition ourselves to be seen as a government agency that is trusted, that is respected, and that is responsive.
Other speakers also applaud the initiative by the Nigeria Customs Service as it launches this guide in order to enhance better performance. The high point of the occasion is the unveiling of the Reputation Management Guide document.
For all officers and men to understand their responsibilities in the implementation of this, we hereby launch this app.
Executives of the Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs Agents, ANCA, the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, the Africa Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria, and Customs Consultative Committee converged on the Nigeria Customs Service headquarters at the instance of the service. The occasion is commencement of consultations by the service with stakeholders on a planned review of license and renewal fees for licensed customs agents. The engagement provides an opportunity for brainstorming with the stakeholders on the planned review, which is to reflect prevailing economic realities, including the value of exchange rates, address operational demands, and ensure that only agents who meet the service's compliance, competence, and integrity requirements continue to operate within the system. On the question raised by the stakeholders, which is what they stand to get in return for the upward review once it commences operation, Comptroller General of Customs Bashir Adewale Adeni submits.
Customs should promise better services. Customs should better improve services. Customs should recommit itself to 48 hours clearance. Customs should, align our alert system in such a way that it does not hold importers down and things like that. So these are things which I believe that we can do in return to make sure that importers get value for their money.
For licensed customs agents, though long overdue, provision of the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, which seeks to reform customs licensing regulation, is embraced by them.
Migrating now from custom agents to custom representatives in line with Section 103 to 107 of the new acts is a good development. We have seen the provision under 103 4B, 106 3D, where it is now confirmed qualification for you to obtain custom license now that you must be a member of an approved freight forwarding association. That is a good one because it's in line with professionalism, meaning that associations that are not freight forwarding associations shouldn't be issued licenses. Because I know that new custom and even the draftman and the National Assembly that made this law, they took so many things into consideration to ensure that this reform is in place.
Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, uses the medium to highlight the benefits of collection of 4% FOB.
No agent is being asked to pay 7% cost of collection. No importer is asked to pay 7% cost of collection. 7% cost of collection was deducted at the back end, and with FOB is no longer there. 1% CISS, by the provisions of the same law, it now ceases to operate, and our system has been configured to remove it completely. Everything about the administration of customs, funding of technology, payment of salaries, and everything will now be done on 4% FOB.
With open-hearted deliberations held, the service reassures stakeholders of its commitment to an inclusive process and notes that feedback from industry associations, individual operators, and relevant government agencies will be carefully considered before the finalization and implementation of review of the license and renewal fees. In line with the Nigeria Customs Service's commitment to collaboration, the service has organized Stakeholders Engagement Forum on Authorized Economic Operator Program and Post-Clearance Audit Reforms, with the theme From Fast Track to Authorized Economic Operators, Enhancing Trade Facilitation and Supply Chain Security in Nigeria. The head of Nigeria Customs Services Post-Clearance Audit Unit, Assistant Comptroller General Zenna Chiroma, summarizes the aim of the forum.
The forum today is not just about information dissemination. It's about stakeholder inclusion. We want to listen, respond, and create a more efficient, predictable trade environment for all. As we move forward, let me assure you that under the leadership of CGC Bashir Adewale Adini, MFR, the Nigerian Customs Service remained firmly committed to reform, collaboration, and modernization.
Delivering a keynote address, Zonal Coordinator Zone A, Assistant Comptroller General Charles Obi, highlights what the AEO entails.
The Authorized Economic Operators Program is not just a new policy, it is a paradigm shift in the way customs interacts with the private sector, developed in line with the World Customs Organization's safe framework of standards, particularly its second pillar, Customs to Business Partnership. The AEO program promotes a modern system of risk management, facilitation, and compliance.
We bring to the fore the impression of the service about the forum held.
It was a robust one. We were able to synergize. We listened to their problems. A lot of them actually did not know that this program started since 2023. They didn't know, but with this sensitization program, a lot of them now got to know, and they are happy that it held, and they are going to key into it immediately.
Based on the questions, we've understood that they are getting on, and the issue that raised, anything that's basically raised here and challenged here, we're taking it up, we're discussing, and we get improvement. Whether pastoral, AEO, Biodogun, or anything, we're taking it up.
A strong message which the Nigeria Customs Service has sent at the forum, among others, is the fact that the Authorized Economic Operator Program is not a favor, but a mutual commitment between the Nigeria Customs Service and the stakeholders who are compliant traders. To qualify for the AEO program, the service insists businesses must meet strict eligibility criteria, maintain accurate records, obey customs laws, pay the correct duty, and cooperate during verification and audit sessions. The creation of Lily Pond Command as a specialized export command by the Nigeria Customs Service with the view to boosting exports from Nigeria has, in no small measure, continued to live up to expectations as the command has sustainably processed exports of made-in-Nigeria goods with continuous improvement. Customs Area Controller of the Command, Comptroller Ajibola Ogusanya, discloses the performance of his command at half-year 2025. Beginning with what the service has done to achieve operational excellence in the command.
The ICT modernization unit has successfully deployed the Unified Customs Management System, UCMS, also known as BODOGU, into this command. This platform integrates all export-related modules, and Lily Pond Export Command is actively involved in its implementation. The BODOGU platform holds tremendous potential in enhancing trade facilitation, promoting ease of doing business, improving revenue collection, and strengthening accountability to our stakeholders.
He reveals that the command has recorded improvements in the value of goods exported by the command within the period under review.
Our cumulative export value for the first half of 2025 stood at $1,586,041,100.25. This reflects an increase of $420.9 million over the performance of January to June last year. representing a growth rate of approximately 36%. First half of 2024, the 2.5% surcharge paid on re-exported items totaled 47,845,142 naira. However, in the same period of 2025, this amount rose significantly to 318,775,782 naira. This represents a notable increase of 270,930,640 naira, reflecting improved documentation, increased export activities, and growing exporter confidence.
The Customs Area Controller again discloses the command's trade volume between January and end of June 2025.
The command processed a total of 27,721 export containers, a substantial rise from the 9,438 containers handled during the same period in 2024. This difference of 18,283 containers translates to a 200% growth in export throughput.
Comptroller Odusanya says exports through the command are categorized into agricultural products, manufactured goods, solid minerals, and others, with agricultural products remaining the lead export at half-year 2025, followed by manufactured goods. He uses the medium to appreciate the Comptroller General of Customs and his management team for support the Lily Pond Export Command receives. He assures that the command is poised to achieve greater successes in the months ahead, especially with Bodogu, with its potentials in enhancing trade facilitation coming in handy, while admonishing stakeholders to remain compliant for even greater achievements. Members House of Representative Committee on Customs and Excise arrived Kanojigawa Area Command on a 2-day oversight function. In his welcome address, Zonal Coordinator Zone B, Assistant Comptroller General Adekunle Oluide, expressed his readiness to embrace the committee's contribution so as to enhance the command's performance.
We are open to comments, corrections, advice where we have erred, because this will serve as a feedback mechanism for us to rejig our operation. We operate in a very, very dangerous zone. The security around the Northwest is very pathetic. And about 3 months ago, sadly, we lost two of our officers in Kebbi to Lukarawa, the bandits that breaks there. We lost two of our men. May their gentle soul rest in perfect peace.
As he makes his presentation, Customs Area Controller of the Command, Comptroller Abubakar Alhatu, discloses that, owing to reorganization of the command's mandate delivery strategies since his assumption of duty, the command has been experiencing improved performance in all aspects of its operations. He reveals successes recorded in revenue generation.
The total revenue collected for the period under review, January to July 2025, is 58,389,857,888 naira 87 kobo so far. This indicates an increase of 8.31%, positive variance of 4,479,008,821 naira 46 kobo only. As it stands today, the command is optimistic within 6 months to the end of the year that it will surpass its revenue target for the year 2025.
Comptroller Abubakar Dalhatu expresses delight in the robust relationship between his command and its stakeholders.
Kano clearing agents, Kano importers, Kano businessmen, I can stand here to tell you today they can compete with their counterparts anywhere in Nigeria when it comes to compliance, documentation, and revenue generation. Custom House Bombay has an office dedicated for monitoring and compliance of its activities. That office was punished 100% by stakeholders. They admitted they lack competencies and they are ready to change.
The smooth relationship notwithstanding, the Customs Area Controller says he is unrelenting in ensuring that the command's operatives and stakeholders are on the same page in order to sustain professionalism and further improve the compliance level by stakeholders. In the area of suppression of smuggling, Comptroller Abubakar Dalhatu reveals that since assumption of duty, the Kano Jigawa Command has recorded tremendous interception of items, including those of intercepted 420 kilograms weight of pangolin scales, cannabis sativa, 225 milligrams tramadol, herbicides which contain banned paraquat chloride, and undeclared foreign currency, among others. The visit offers the committee members the opportunity to make contributions, ask questions where they seek clarification, make suggestions where necessary, and with commendations form a major part of their submissions. While making a remark, Chairman of the committee, Honorable Leke Abedije, expresses joy on the remarkable achievements in the command under Comptroller Dalhatu, both in terms of general operations and in improving the image of the command, just as he reinstates commitment to helping the command overcome its teething problems in order to further improve its performance.
I can see significant improvements from 1 billion half year last year to over 10 billion in half year 2025. And for the area of terminals you have just mentioned, some terminals are not up to standards. Some of them will be recommended to close so that those who are capable to operate, who can provide equipment, will allow them to operate.
As part of the oversight visit, members of the committee embark on a tour of some excise factories in Kano.
Hello and welcome to the segment Customs Hub on Customs Duty. This is a segment that summarizes some of the activities of the Nigeria Customs Service regarding weekly revenue generation from import duty, excise duty, and other levies. We take a look at the total number of pre-arrival assessment reports issued and revenue generated from Friday 1st of August 2025 to Thursday 7th of August 2025. The total amount of pre-arrival assessment report, also known as PAR, issued for the week amounts to 5,285. The Nigeria Customs Service generated a total of 145,833,315,961 naira 51 kobo in revenue for the week. On excise duty collection, the Nigeria Customs Service collected the sum of 435,919,434 naira 51 kobo. That is all for the segment Customs Hub.
And this is where we draw the curtains on this week's episode of Customs Duty. For more information, you can always follow us on our social media handles, now being displayed on your screen. You could also visit our website at www.customs.gov.ng for more updates about the service. Strive to be a patriotic citizen, a compliant trader, avoid smuggling, and always pay correct duty to make Nigeria a more prosperous nation. Join us again same time next week. I am Tosin Obiakeme. Thank you for watching.